Well, Jalen Hurts now has an ankle injury that the Birds were trying to hide all week long until Nick Sirianni spilled the beans during yesterday's press conference. But will a less than 100% QB1 actually make a difference versus this Cowboys defense? Plus, hear why the Birds are expecting to see some Trey Lance on Sunday and why Vic Fangio will be ready. I'm Thomas Bont. This is the Thomas Bont Show. Now, if you were just a casual fan today, kind of getting ready for Eagles versus Cowboys tomorrow, you might have missed the big news yesterday that Jalen Hurts is injured. Well, sort of. We actually have no clue how or when he actually got hurt before yesterday, as the Eagles were apparently trying to hide the fact until Nick Sirianni kind of spilled the beans during his press conference before practice on Friday.
We haven't really seen Jalen be held back for load management before. What was behind that on Wednesday?
Yeah, he's dealing with it was on the injury report, dealing with the ankle, and just making sure we're precautious with everything.
He wasn't on the ankle.
I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts. It was an ankle?
What's that?
It was the rest.
That was the rest, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
I thought you were talking about something else. All right.
Is Jalen dealing with an ankle problem?
Now rest.
Now, for context, Hurts was actually held out of Wednesday's practice due to rest, something that at the time kind of felt a little odd because Hurts has never missed a practice for rest at any point during his career. But now, if you believe Nick Sirianni, Jalen is dealing with some sort of ankle injury that clearly the team did not want public ahead of their big date in Dallas on Sunday afternoon. Also, with the Cowboys game happening tomorrow, let's do our weekly Guess the Stats to win a Thomas Bont Show t-shirt, where one subscriber who drops a like on this video and comments Cooper Rush's stats, that's passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions, get it dead on. Tough to do, but if you get it dead on, I'll send one of my subscribers an official Thomas Bont Show t-shirt. Now, Jalen was a full go at practice yesterday, and so again, how serious is the ankle injury? We don't really know. Although there is this new article from ESPN's Tim McManus confirming that a league source said Hurts has, quote, lower leg soreness, and that his limited practice Wednesday was for load management purposes, with the Eagles playing 2 games in the span of 5 days against the Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders. The source added that Hurts was held back from dropping and planting during the individual periods, but did throw the football later Wednesday during team walkthrough. Again, all good signs, and honestly, at this point in the season, isn't everybody probably just a little bit banged up in their own respective way? Still, though, the big story is that the Eagles probably hid or lied about the fact that Jalen Hurts was injured. If you have an injured player, he has to show up on an injury report. The fact he didn't on Wednesday will probably result in the Birds getting at least some sort of minor investigation and a fine. Nothing serious, but it's the NFL, so it's probably going to happen. Either way, here's hoping Jalen Hurts gets his first win on the road against the Cowboys in his career. Right now, he's 0 for 3. Either way, I think he will. At least that's my guess. Let me know your guys' score prediction down below as well. Now, as far as the other injuries from earlier this week, DeVonta Smith, he said he will play, being limited with a hamstring injury. Actually suffered, apparently, on the one-handed catch the player seeing right now, which is a little bit, ironic. Still, he will go. Everyone else who had some sort of status this week, yes, they're all going to play as well. The Birds are relatively pretty healthy, including Dallas Goedert, who the Birds QB1 is clearly excited to get back on offense.
It'll be cool this week to see how we can get everybody involved. Obviously, having Dallas back is a big piece and a big component for us, and we're all excited about that.
Now, the Cowboys are also relatively pretty healthy, minus, of course, the brand new report that Dak's hamstring actually partially ripped off the bone and will likely send him to IR. But Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Zach Martin, I think, are all expected to play based on yesterday's injury report. They're not 100%, but they all should be out there. Deron Bland is the one player we're still kind of waiting on official confirmation, more of a game time decision, but again, overall, the Cowboys are pretty healthy as well. Still, though, this means Cooper Rush is going to be your quarterback 1. Of course, Philadelphia familiar with him. They played against him during the 2022 season, that time in Philadelphia in a big win. But Dallas apparently also might unveil the new Trey Lance package against the Eagles after Jerry Jones told 105.3 The Fan in Dallas that, quote, here is a window for Trey Lance. There's packages that we can work on. Let me be clear, that's not just to get Lance some playtime. That's to bring to the table some offense for us. So I guess you'll get some Trey Lance running packages here. I'm not quite sure exactly what he means, but don't be surprised if you see Trey Lance pulling off a Taysom Hill impression. Not sure it helps, but I guess it'll be interesting. Personally, I just hope the Birds defense continues its hot streak this week against, again, Cooper Rush. Don't let the Cowboys backup look impressive versus us, and don't overlook this team, even though, again, Dallas is kind of teetering on the brink.
Of course, we in the NFL, you take no team lightly. We've been preparing for them tough. Whatever they got, whatever they gonna throw at us, we just kind of been preparing for it, and coach is doing a good job getting us ready for it.
Nakobe, you talked about having like a turnover balls going in the linebacker.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you guys decide?
I think, we was harping on taking the ball away and punching the ball out so much. I think we was in here. They had brought the ball in here like a Monday after the Cincinnati game. Zach was like, man, I'm just gonna take it in the linebacker room, and it just kind of stuck.
Does that get more motivation to kind of do
For
that?
sure, because we see it, like, now we seeing it every day. It's like now we like, who gonna get the most balls in the room? Literally.
And now that the turnovers are starting to come a little bit, is that sort of a contagious thing like sacks are?
Yeah, it's just like like I said before, like the floodgates open. You know, you get one, they come in bunches. You just gotta continue to get them, but we gotta continue to work to get them. Also, have that ball in our mind.
These are two teams going in very different directions right now. One is terribly run, has really had an awful offseason in terms of spending, and of course, now lost their quarterback, whereas the Birds are riding a 4-game win streak behind Jalen Hurts, and of course, free agent addition Saquon Barkley, and this incredible defense. Which, if you actually go back to this game last year, in Dallas, the Birds defense got shredded up and down the football field. I know Dak's not out there, but historically, the Bird defense has been bad against Dallas. I cannot wait to see them actually look good, hopefully on Sunday afternoon. I mean, since the bye week, this defense has been absolutely incredible. I mean, the fact that they held Joe Burrow to such an underwhelming performance, which clearly the past couple of weeks means Joe Burrow has been one of the best quarterbacks in football, is nothing short of impressive. And obviously, we have to give a lot of credit to Vic Fangio because he's the one who steadied the ship post-bye week and clearly has earned the respect of his players on defense.
Everybody just holding themselves accountable and making sure that we are doing what the coaches are asking you to do, you know. Once Vic get in the meeting, he's real clear on how he wants something to look. So if it ain't looking like that, he gonna call you out by name in front of everybody and let you know that, hey, I want this to look like this. This is not how I want it done. Then he gonna move on. He ain't gonna harp on it, but he want it done right. Because if it ain't done right, then it's gonna be on him. So, you know, it's just it's all about accountability and just doing what you actually do.
I think whether it's the linebackers suddenly playing like a top 5 unit in the league, or Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell being real difference makers in the secondary, or again, Vic Fangio finding his stride, this defense is going to play well and they should dominate Cooper Rush and company this Sunday. And yes, I haven't forgot about the offense. Obviously, A.J. Brown healthy, DeVonta Smith healthy, Jalen, I'm sure he's going to be healthy enough, and Saquon Barkley should have a massive day on the ground. This is a Dallas Cowboy defense allowing the 31st most rushing TDs in the entire league. Start Saquon in your fantasy leagues. Now, all this was echoed during my weekly live show with Josh Davis, which happened on Tuesday because the NFL trade deadline. But Josh Davis actually made a really interesting point that it's not just the linebacker play. I mean, they've been great, but Cooper DeJean in the nickel and the tackling ability of the nickel defense as a whole has been nothing short of incredible and should definitely show up against the Dallas Cowboys.
I can't remember who was mentioning this on the film breakdown. It might have been, I may give the wrong credit to, but Johnny Page does good work anyway. I think it was Johnny Page, but he was saying that the Eagles essentially used nickel like almost an entire drive, and the Jaguars were still trying to run the football with Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne, and the fact that they can stop them, for one, the Eagles can stop them, limit the ground game in the nickel is markedly better than what we saw in the early part of the season. And that is, to your point there, of saying the Cooper DeJean impact. He is a game changer, a difference maker, but it's not just the run. I mean, I think he's third, if I'm not mistaken, third in the NFL in coverage grade since he's played. Like, you take all players, the same amount of games that Cooper DeJean has had since he's entered the lineup, and third in coverage game, third in coverage grade, plus the tackles, plus the physicality, the way that Fangio can call the defense. It's literally like having a linebacker on the field who can cover. And then, oh, by the way, you know, as we were mentioned earlier, Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean, they have been the best graded linebackers in the NFL. I would have never, ever bought that if you were selling that the Eagles would have two linebackers, the highest graded duo in the NFL since the bye week. And yet that's where we're at. It's crazy. If they play this level, and we talk about it holistically for the defense, but like if the linebacking core plays at this level for the remainder of the season, I'll take your chances against anybody.
I know. And it's like, it's gotten better. It's gotten better each and every week. Bond's tackling has gotten, I mean, it's been good, but it's gotten way, way better. It's been fantastic the past 4 weeks, and Dean's coverage has been really good. That play to seal the game is very difficult to do just from, you know, any standpoint, whether you're a cornerback, a safety, or a linebacker. But for Nakobe Dean, notorious, especially during his career early on, being a terrible cover linebacker, getting shredded in training camp. He mentioned it in the post-game press conference that he got beat in practice on this play, in training camp on this play. Gainwell got him on one. and to be in the proper place at the right time and come down with a pick, and linebackers are not known for having good hands, is very impressive. Cooper Rush is a very talented backup quarterback, someone who can win you football games. Not like you're playing Desmond Ridder, or somebody who is not good. And so, sure, it's going to be a battle. You can't overlook them. I hope that the rivalry side of playing the Cowboys, the fact you haven't won in Dallas in a very long time, can be the motivation to get up for this game. But I would not sleep on the Cowboys. Micah Parsons going to be back and playing. I know that, the Cowboys and I'm blanking right now. CeeDee Lamb has had a little bit of shoulder problems, but he's day-to-day. He should be fine. You got to wake up for this one. That way you can maintain your divisional lead, or a chance to take the divisional lead just a couple of days later. We're going to be there next week whenever they take on the Washington Commanders. So hopefully they
gonna be a blast.
Wake up and are just fine for this game.
It'll be fun. It's different from last year, obviously, and I think Nakobe even mentioned that in his presser, but saying last year it was a great start and then a terrible finish. This season a little bit different because we took our lumps early, and it was like, hey, you know what? There's some things we need to correct. Tackling was not good, and then it's coverage, and then it's the run game, and a variety of those, and you just kind of ebb and flow with it. But I mean, all of us, I think, would sign up for it. Is like, look, if we're going to have that happen, have it be the early part of the season so that you can get hot late and you can continue to build this. And that's ultimately where it is right now.
Now, myself and Josh Davis will be live for Eagles versus Cowboys, as we usually are, about 15 minutes before kickoff tomorrow afternoon, or I guess in a couple of hours, depending on when you watch this. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you've not joined us for a live stream yet, check us out. They're just blowing up right now. A ton of people have been watching them, and they've been a bunch of fun as well. Great place to hang out, talk to other Birds fans, and obviously watch the game. I'm Thomas Mott, though, hanging out on a Saturday. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.